There's a lot that goes into preparing and doing a radio show. And when you think of a radio listener as someone who's wanting two specific things from you, you just might prepare for your show a little differently. Let's dive into this week's Beyond the 615 column, article number 215, Two Big Ideas for Christian Radio Shows. I'm Todd Stach, talent coach and consultant at my company, Beyond 615. Here are the two areas to be mindful of if you're wanting to connect deeper with your listener. First, especially in the beginning of your radio break, try to use the widest welcome map possible that attracts the widest audience listening. That means that you can't assume that anyone listening is anything. Married, a parent, a Christian, goes to church, or is a fan of your radio station. Here's an example. It's summertime and your kids are headed off to VBS. Well, that assumes that everyone listening is a parent, has kids, and knows what a VBS is. Recent research showed that 70% of Christian radio listeners don't have an 18-year-old or younger living with them. Here's how you adjust. It's summertime, and a kid in your life may be headed to a camp. Using a phrase like a kid in your life is relevant to parents, grandparents, babysitters, older siblings, aunts, uncles, teachers, next-door neighbors, etc. Also, summer camp is a broader term that includes VBS. Being inclusive without sounding exclusive welcomes more people to feel like they're seen. Every listener wants to feel like, I belong here, when listening to your radio show. Before I reveal the second big idea, I wanted to let you know that at the time of this article, I've held over 1,900 coaching sessions. I've discovered universal truths that can be tailored to individual shows. And there are more helpful videos on my Instagram and YouTube pages. And you can find out more about my radio coaching at beyond615.com. Okay, secondly, listen to almost any Christian radio station and you'll hear the DJ handing out spiritual advice. Here's an example. So the next time you find yourself in that same situation I was in, remember to trust Jesus and worry less. That is so cliche and bad Christian radio. Stop handing out maybe unwanted advice and start being a good example. How to adjust. So the next time I find myself in that same situation, I'm going to trust Jesus instead of worrying so much. In Faith Breaks, be self-evaluating and self-examining so that you can model honesty and vulnerability. Every listener wants to feel like, I'm not alone when listening to your radio show. They come to you for encouragement, not admonishment. Here's the takeaway. The two big ideas for Christian radio shows, I belong here and I'm not alone, are powerful ways to attract people to your radio show and connect with them at a deeper level. That builds trust and forms habits, and that's something that streaming music just can't do.